But I think the first fellowships that were available for training industrial hygienists were put up by the Atomic Energy Commission because they desperately needed an industrial hygienist. And they set up a committee to give fellowships to train industrial hygienists for themselves. And we used to go down to Oak Ridge, the people on the committee, and they were a group of us, Leslie Silverman from Harvard, whom you may have heard about, and Ted Hatch from Pittsburgh, and I represented Hopkins, and then we had other people from the Atomic Energy Commission. And we would go down there every year and select the students. And we would have all of the applications of people who wanted jobs, wanted to go for training. They could only go to the University of Pittsburgh or Harvard, because that was considered the only two places that had good enough industrial hygiene training to match the EPA's demands. And so EPA we'd pick out...
AEC.
AEC, excuse me, EPA didn't exist, AEC, thank you. So we'd all go down there, and so we got to know each other very well. We did this for a number of years. One year we went down, and the Tennessee Valley people, a section of the American Industrial Hygiene Association, used to invite us to come to they'd have a meeting the night that we were all there, and so we would all go. So one day, Ted Hatch was one of our very, very famous members. But Ted liked to talk, and he could always talk on a minute's notice, but he really enjoyed talking, and everything he said was well worth listening to. Everybody would just sit on the edge of their chair to listen to Ted. So one day we were all looking over these applications, and Ted left the room. Leslie Silverman said, Ted had said, we said, are you going to that meeting tonight to dinner, aren't you? And Ted said, oh, I didn't know we were going. Why, he said, I guess I'd done. And we said, well, we all got invited. And he said, well, I guess I never looked at my mail for the last 2 weeks, so I guess it was in there. So when Ted disappeared, Les says, let's tell Ted that let's tell the people, the members of the section, that Professor Hatch is going to give the after-dinner speech. So we all said, now don't say anything to Ted. So we all rushed back to dinner, you see, and it was all planned. And the chairman of the dinner would call on me and say, Dr. Baetjer, do you want to offer a few words? And I said, oh no, since Ted's giving the after-dinner, I'll defer to Mr. Hatch, to Professor Hatch. Each one of us said that, and we all sort of intimated that he was going to give the main speech. And finally, the last person said, well, of course, Professor Hatch is giving the main speech, dinner speech, so I'll defer to him. And Ted had no idea in the world that he was going to give the after-dinner speech for this dinner meeting. So we were always playing trivia.